Shalom, Shalom Israel partners, and welcome. Welcome to our weekly report. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And now it's about the situation that is taking place in Israel and between Israel and its enemies. We have realized in the last week since our last report that the Iranians with their proxies are not rushing to retaliate against Israel for the killing of two archy-terrorists with Fuad Sukkar, who was the chief of staff of the Lebanese Hezbollah terror organization, and Ismail Haniyeh was the head of the Hamas, another organization that is a proxy of Iran. And Israel took them out of the equation, out of the scene, because they were in charge in multiple attacks over Israel and Fuad Sukkar, even over Americans and other troops from other countries in Lebanon. In 1983, he was responsible for the bombing of the American embassy in Beirut and causing over 241 casualties over there. So we have understood that all the promises of Iran to retaliate against Israel, to punish Israel, to immediately retaliate against Israel in a severe manner, it's literally not coming through yet. The head of Hezbollah was speaking, Hassan Nasrallah, the other day, and he was saying that the fact that they haven't attacked Israel yet, it's part of their retaliation, because it's causing fear in Israel and psychological effect, and this is part of their revenge. And there is something into that, because there is fear in Israel. People are leaving northern parts of Israel. People are literally very much afraid. They don't know what to expect and when to expect this. The Israeli army is on high alert, which means that soldiers are not going to visit at home. Everybody's in their bases. So yes, he's right. It's causing a lot of turmoil and a lot of stress in Israel. But we know, according to whatever our leaders and military commanders are saying, that Israel is prepared and Israel is ready to strike back should the Iranians and the Hezbollah are going, or the Houthis or the other militias of Iran are going to attack Israel. But what we're hearing from intelligent forces around the Middle East and in the US is the fact that the Iranian new president, Masoud, is literally very, very frightened for his position, for his leadership right now, as he just came about to be the president of Iran. And if Iran is going to strike and attack Israel, definitely Israel and the United States are going to strike back. And we've been hearing messages from the United States through diplomatic channels to Iran, literally threatening Iran and telling them that should they are going to cause any severe casualties or big damages in Israel, America and Israel will strike back in Iran and will destroy their economy and will literally reverse them back to the Flintstones. And Masoud, the president of Iran, doesn't want this to be his legacy, doesn't want to start like that, by destroying the Iranian economy and by suffering and crippling their society, because Israel and America can destroy their oil industry, their refineries, their ports, their airports, their nuclear facilities, and more and more and more of that. And on the other hand, we're hearing that there are more and more negotiations and talks about a deal between Israel and Hamas for a ceasefire and releasing of our hostages. Next Thursday, according to the plans, there should be a huge summit between all the parties, the Americans, European countries, Egypt, Qatar, Israel, Hamas, that is going to get closer to try and seal a deal between Israel and Hamas for the release of the Israeli hostages, death, and those who are still alive. So there's a huge week ahead of us. First and foremost, we have to pray and be sure that Iran is not going to strike Israel, is not going to attack, and Hezbollah are not going to do something more extreme and more radical. As our Minister of Defense was giving an order to release pamphlets over Lebanese territories, saying to the people that Hassan Nasrallah and and Hezbollah, they are the cause for their suffering. And should they're going to attack Israel, Israel is going to unproportionately going to attack Lebanon and destroying its infrastructure. And the civilians and the citizens of Lebanon can only blame themselves from not puking and throwing up the Hezbollah away from them, and for narrow interest of a small Shiite organization that is a militant, they're taking the entire Lebanese population hostages as well. Situation very complicated around this area. Israel is trying to do its best not to harm anybody, but we will fight back and we will retaliate should they're going to attack us. And the enemies knows it, and they know for sure that they cannot get away with the fact that Israel and America is standing together right now. Just yesterday we heard the Secretary of Defense of the US, Lloyd Austin, saying that the F-22s are already right here in the Middle East together with the destroyers and battleship and warships. And that's what we need here to literally, deteriorate the Iranians and their proxies from attacking Israel. So we know that the warships are here, but the real worship and prayers, that's what we need. This is how we wage war. There's a war that it's military war and it's waged by warships, and there's a war that is waged by worship. And that's what we're doing. We're praising God, we're trusting in the Lord God of Israel, and we know that we will be victorious and God will always prevail. I love you. Shabbat Shalom. Bye for now.